Hello and welcome. My name is Ali Goff. I'm the owner and founder of Goff Legal. We help clients throughout California with their estate planning needs. And today is a super fun topic on taxes. Everyone loves taxes, balloons, parties. No? Are you sure? All right, fine. Nobody likes taxes. So remove the federal government. Who wants your taxes? You're probably watching this because you're not super thrilled by that idea. You want to know, what the heck do I do? How do I save and minimize my capital gains tax? And I'm going to share a very important strategy with you, specifically around real estate. How do we avoid capital gains tax for real estate? So, one of the things that clients often want to do is to save money, make things really easy. And so they will want to transfer real estate to their children or to someone. Easiest way to do that. What do you think they do? I'm just going to add them to the title. Awesome. Great job. Did it work? Yes. Is it going to be tax efficient? No. It will actually be really, really bad. Really, really bad. Here's the scenario. I should have like a cool chart, but I don't have that. So you're just going to have to imagine it for me, right? Let's say you bought a house for $100,000 back in 1970, because houses cost that back then. You couldn't buy anything now for that cost. So let's say you spend $100,000 on that property. And let's say today it's worth $1 million. Possible, depending on the area, specifically the Bay Area, LA, or if there's been a lot of development, those sorts of things. So if today you took a $100,000 house and you sold it for $1 million, you would have gains, capital gains of $900,000. Now we can reduce those gains because it's your primary residence by $250,000. So that's good. Less capital gains are assessed, less taxes are paid because it was a primary residence. This is why you see people moving into a home, waiting a couple of years, 3 years, 5 years, and then selling it because they get that personal home exemption from capital gains tax. Now, let's say you took that same $100,000 house, it appraised to $1 million, and you died, and you, as part of your will or trust, gave it to a child. They're going to inherit it. It's an adjusted basis on death up to $1 million. So they inherited a house with a basis, a tax basis of $1 million. So when they go to sell it for $1 million, what is their capital gains tax? Zero. Nothing. Because their basis adjusted on your death. That is how the tax law works right now. You die, all of your assets, stocks, bonds, personal property, real estate, all gets an adjusted basis to the date of death value. That's one way to save capital gains tax, is to wait to give your stuff away until after you die. The scenario goes like this, where they're trying to save attorney fees or other hassles. And so they say, I'm going to add my child to the property. Cool. That was nice. Didn't cost very much. Seems simple enough. The problem is they inherit your basis when you gift it to them during your life. So you give it to them today, and they inherit your basis of $100,000. A year later, you die. It's worth $1 million. It's not their primary residence either, by the way. It was your primary residence. They have a primary residence. They're not living there. They're going to sell it for $1 million, and they're going to pay tax on $900,000 of capital gains. Not a fun scenario. Not a fun scenario at all. One other way you can help minimize capital gains, in addition to waiting to transfer it on death, is to keep very good records about the improvements you've made to your property. This is where we bring in the CPA. You talk with your tax advisor, your tax attorney, your tax strategist, and we say, okay, if I'm looking to sell my home because I need to move, how can we get that basis from 100,000 up higher so that I'm not paying so much in tax? Improvements. If you've made improvements to your home, that helps adjust the basis. Did you add on square footage? You put money into it, you can adjust the basis up and up and up. But you need good records, and you need a tax person. I'm not a tax attorney. I'm not giving you tax advice. I'm telling you, you need to track this and meet with a tax advisor before you sell the property. I don't want you going off and selling something seeing the tax bill and then trying to figure it out later. So, two things you can do to minimize capital gains tax in California if you have real estate. One, pass it on through a will, better, a trust, different video, but you know that a trust is a more efficient way to transfer the real estate. And two, track all of your capital expenditures, all of the improvements you've made to that property, and keep all of that in one place. And then, of course, three, living there. You get that $250,000 exemption if it's your personal residence. Talk to your tax attorney, your tax counsel, your CPA about how long you need to live there to qualify for that, et cetera, et cetera. If for some reason you have recently lost a spouse, you both own the property and a spouse died, come and see our office and we can talk through the options, because sometimes, depending on how you held title, the basis adjusts up to date of death, either on half of the property or all of the property. Again, depending on whether it's separate property or community property. That's a very specific we can help you question, but not something I can tell you off the top of my head in a video without looking at your individual situation. So I hope that was helpful in terms of how to minimize capital gains tax, specifically with real estate here in California.